Let's first have a talk about features of cubic graphs. Cubic graphs are generally of the form y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. The d is the intercept, the constant is the intercept. It's cubic graph because the highest power of x is cubed. So it doesn't necessarily have to have all the four terms. It could have any combination, but the highest power of x has to be a 3 cube. These are examples of cubic graphs. So let's look at these drawings and see how we can explain some of the features. Let's look at the first graph. Now, whenever the coefficient of s cubed is positive, this is the shape of the graph. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same axis, but I'm talking about only the shape. The shape should be of this format: up, down, up. And whenever you have a positive coefficient of s cubed and you have up, down, up, you're going to have two turning points, the maximum and the minimum. This is the maximum point because the y value increases to a point, get to maximum, then start decreasing, gets to minimum, and start increasing again. So we call these turning points, this maximum turning point, minimum turning point. Then for this particular graph, the solutions, whenever we say solutions of the graph, is where the y is equal to 0, or where the line cuts the x-axis. So solutions are where y equals to 0, or where the line crosses the x-axis. And there are three solutions: 1, -3, another one is +1, another one +2. So for this particular one, the solutions are 3 values, and the intercept is +6. Let's look at the second one. As you can guess, if the coefficient of this is positive, what do you expect this to be? Of course, negative. Also has turning points, but this time is what? Minimum first before maximum. Minimum turning point before maximum turning point. And the solution for this particular one is only 2. One at this point and one at that point. So it's not always that has to have 3. Depends on the kind of function. So this has only 2, and the intercept is +2. Now sometimes you have cubic graph which is of this form. It could be the other way around as well. Now, when it's this form, remember it starts from the top first, so it's also when a is negative. This is also when a is negative. Even though it doesn't go up and down, but it's still, if you look at the way it starts from the top down, this is where a is negative. If a were to be positive, it should be the other way around. Now for this one, we call it point of inflection because at that point, you can think of rotating it 180 degrees and it will still look the same. So we call this point of inflection. It doesn't come down and go up, so we call it point of inflection. And of course, the intercept is 0.